But you have your passport now. You don't need no
It's
Canadian.
true. I don't need no man. I got my new passport.
If you do any kind of dating profile, that should be your header.
Yeah. I
And
didn't need no man. I got my own passport.
exactly, my own Canadian
I think I
passport.
actually had that on my online dating profile because it asks you your hometown.
Mm.
And I think I put, like, not looking for, like, citizenship marriage. I'm good, thanks.
All right, welcome everybody to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always, hosted by me, and my name happens to be Chris. Welcome everybody to episode number 357. Great episode going on today. As always, this podcast is available on all major podcasting services, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, and the website castingfor2.com. So however you listen to it, thank you. I'm super glad to have you here. And yeah, so you know what? I need to start this podcast off, and I need to start it off with my guest. All right, people? I have a wonderful guest today. Somebody who has worked on a project that is very close to my heart, therefore making her close to my heart. Rhona Rees is on the podcast, and she is a very talented actress from the wonderful land of British Columbia, Vancouver, and we all know how much I love Canada. But the project she worked on is Rainbow Six Siege, and if anybody follows me online, they all know how much I love Rainbow Six Siege and how it is, without a doubt, one of my favorite games that will ever exist, and she voiced a character on that. And so we talked a little bit about that, but she's just so much fun to chat with. And but you know what? I'm done talking because we need to get into this episode. So everybody sit back, relax, and Rhona, take it away.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I am doing well. How is your Avo going?
It is going pretty good. Yeah, I just finished coaching, came home, made a cup of tea. I've just been listening to one of your episodes a little bit to get a little flavor, and yeah, excited to chat to you.
I'm excited to chat with you. As far as coaching goes, what acting coaching?
Yeah, I was coaching a teenager for her animation and commercial demo.
Gotcha.
So we were, she's going to be recording that in about a month, and then hoping to get herself an agent and get out there.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say, I don't want things to. I'm glad that you were listening to the podcast and getting a feel for it. But this is a special podcast for me.
Why?
Because you are involved in a project that is near and dear to my heart. And,
which one is that?
I need to do a little bit of a backstory.
Okay.
I have some friends, and we play a certain video game.
You have friends?
I have 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 friends.
Okay, well done.
I don't want to brag. But we play a certain game called Rainbow Six Siege.
Aha.
And
okay.
And I saw that you did the voice of Gridlock, and I almost freaked out.
So have you, and this sounds like a very loaded question, have you played with me?
Yes. Yes.
Great, because I've never played with myself, and I actually really want to. I really have been trying to. I have a friend who used to play a lot. I just think he has extension. Is that what you call it? I don't know the words because I'm not a gamer. But I really want to play with myself.
Well, it's funny because we're part of an esports team and we're called the Meaty Boys.
Oh God, right.
Yeah. So
what's the story behind that name?
We're all big guys.
Okay.
That's
okay.
it. That's the end of that.
Straightforward.
Well, yeah, and it's straight to the point. And we also think, because in the esports world, there's a lot of these like serious gamer group names of I don't know, and just to have that on there is just kind of silly, and that's the whole point.
Nice. Well, I feel like Gridlock would fit right in then. She's kind of meaty herself.
Exactly. She is definitely one of the meaty icons of the group.
Well, that makes me happy.
Yeah. So what I gotta ask, what was that something you auditioned for, or?
Yeah, it was. I got the audition through my voice agent, and they were originally going to do some motion capture with that actor, whoever booked it, at the same time. So I had to submit self-tape as well, like an on-camera self-tape, as well as my MP3. And then they did a Skype call back with me because I'm in Vancouver and the studio is based in Montreal.
Right.
Yeah, so it was kind of fascinating. And then I was a bit sad they didn't actually end up using me for the motion capture. I think they'd already maybe done parts of it by the time we ended up recording. But, it's kind of fascinating. Like I said, I'm not a gamer, and when I kind of looked into this game, because it was all under code names when we first auditioned,
right.
Once I actually knew what the game was and I did a little bit of research, I was like, holy moly, this is, I mean, it's fascinating that there are these world tournaments,
right.
televised tournaments, Twitch, it's this whole other subculture that unless you're a part of, seems quite otherworldly almost.
Right, and it's a game that's always evolving, which is fun because there's no one way to play it, and that's what really intrigued me by it, because I was watching. I happened to be at a convention during one of the live events, and I was just sitting there watching it. And I'm like, yeah, Rainbow Six, yeah, I used to play that with my friends back in the day. Yeah, sure, whatever. And I was just watching it, just in amazement of these teams, and I was just, okay, now I know what we need to do.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I'd love to, I've watched some of the clips of gameplay online, and it moves so fast in those professional tournaments. You know how they have retina tracking for marketing?
Right.
I'd love to see the eyeball speeds of some of these pros, because it just feels like I don't even know how they're seeing and making tactics, because they're just going so quick. Anyway,
right.
It's fascinating. Yeah,
no.
It's fascinating as well, because when my character was released, I was excited about it, but then there was all these people fat-shaming her. And it was really strange. I felt like I needed to defend her. I felt like offended. It was really odd, all these people, fat-shaming a video game character.
Right. A fictional character.
Yeah.
If you look at the whole Siege roster, though, it's so diverse with the amount of men and female that they use, also different cultures and ethnicities that are in it. So it's just, all right, people just need to calm down.
Yeah, people should use their time more productively.
Right.
I mean, I barely have time to do my laundry. So I have time to go online and fat shame a fictional character.
It's I don't know. People are crazy. People need to stop fat shaming and just enjoy Star Wars in general. I'm tired of all this Star Wars hate that's going on. Just enjoy the movies and calm down.
Yeah, just maybe don't comment on people's bodies.
Yeah.
You know? Be they too thin, too fat, too whatever, just let people have their bodies, because they are their own, you know?
You're right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, people. But I'm curious. Was voice acting something you sought out after, or did that come with just the acting?
So I was a child actor,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely started out with on camera. Was where I kind of learned everything and where I cut my teeth. And then the interesting thing about being a child actor is that, there's very few child actors who have worked.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a child actor who's worked and you kind of look cute and you kind of sound okay, then the work sort of breeds itself. So I kind of fell into voice acting just because, I think I'd been into a studio and done some ADR for a show, and they were like, oh, this girl, is professional and sounds kind of good on a mic and has good mic technique. We should bring her in for some commercials. So I kind of stumbled into it that way. And then as my voice print kind of developed into this very unique, husky, textured voice that you're listening to right now, I realized that it was something that was unique, and it got me a lot of work. So when I was still living in Australia, I was doing a lot of commercials and had always wanted to get into animation, but there's very little animation that actually goes on in Australia, very little original content being recorded out of there, unfortunately. So therefore, less classes, less opportunities. So when I moved over to Vancouver, it was definitely something that I was excited to explore. And I took classes and did a lot of hustling until I finally managed to break in a couple of years ago.
And so I'm curious, why Vancouver? And how long ago was that?
Vancouver, partially because of the visas.
Okay, yeah.
So
makes sense.
Australia being part of the Commonwealth, you can get a working holiday visa pretty easily. It's I think back in the day it was $150, and it came in the mail in 3 weeks, and I was like, oh crap, I guess I'm moving to Canada.
Yeah.
And I had spent, like a lot of Australians, I had spent a winter in Whistler. I'm a big skier and I love the mountains. So I already knew that I at least kind of liked the country and the people, and that one of my favorite ski hills would be just down the road.
Yeah.
But also, I was given the advice, don't move to LA unless you're invited. And I think that's pretty good advice. The competition is hot, and I think that you do need a certain look or a certain level of success, perhaps, to have a really great chance of making it in LA.
Right.
And Vancouver has been a really good market for me to be able to really step up in my career. So, yeah, it was a combination of factors. It was the visas, knowing that I liked the country already, and thinking that the market would be a little bit better of a fit for me as a performer. And that was almost 8 years ago now, which is a little bit crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually just passed my citizenship test, so I'm going to have 2 passports.
Uh-oh, watch out. See, look, you told me I'm not bragging about my friends, so don't brag about how many passports you have, okay?
I'm bragging about that. Okay? I studied very hard for that test. A lot of very random Canadian historical facts now. I was very stressed about it.
No, I don't blame you. It's funny because I went to film school in Victoria maybe about 10 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, 10 years ago. So, and I always just, I went there because the school at the time had a pretty kick-ass studio. The equipment was all right, but it was, and then, it was cheaper than LA, so.
Yeah. There's that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm always trying, and so I have a lot of friends that, again, not bragging, but that are in the Vancouver area, and so I'm like, if I can, I wish I had Commonwealth because I want to go back up there and work.
Yeah, you got to find a Canadian to marry.
Ah, man, I've tried that. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
yeah.
know. I'm trying to find one too. Anyway.
But you have your passport now. You don't need no
It's
Canadian.
true. I don't need no man. I got my new passport.
If you do any kind of dating profile, that should be your header.
Yeah. I
And
didn't need no man. I
yeah,
got my own passport.
exactly, my own Canadian
I think I
passport.
actually had that on my online dating profile because it asks you your hometown.
Mm.
And I think I put like not looking for like citizenship marriage. I'm good, thanks.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Just
Right.
as a qualifier.
Oh yeah. No, I mean that's a good
Yeah.
qualifier. Mine was please send dick pics.
Mm.
And that
Good.
that
Did
was
you get
just
some?
no, I got none. But the point was just to have ladies just say,
Really?
like, do you really want dick pics? No, I just wanted to stir up a conversation. How are you doing?
I think I've got some in my phone. I could send some to you right now.
All right, sure, why not? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, and so,
Can I give you a great segue?
oh my gosh,
Speaking
go
of dick
go,
pics.
go right ahead. Go right ahead.
So speaking of dick pics,
Yes.
never thought I'd
Yes.
get to use that. I am making a short film as part of the Harold Greenberg Fund's BC Shorts edition, and it's a sci-fi set in about 20 to 30 years in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene in it where the lead character is using the evolution of Tinder.
Oh.
And instead of having to request dick pics, they're just right on there, right under the profile pictures. Because that's where I see the future of online dating going.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's how little hope I have for humanity and the future of online dating.
No, you know what, I absolutely agree. There's going to be a photo of, a guy with glasses. You swipe, there's a photo of him like in a mountain range, and then you swipe, and there's his penis. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Because people want to know.
Right.
Apparently, it's like yeah. Anyway, enough about dick pics.
No, oh, well, okay, so we're going back. I'm sorry, we're not leaving. No, I'm just kidding. But so you're also you do a lot of work in front of the camera, your voice, stuff like that. But you also do work behind the camera and all that good stuff. Yeah. When did
it's exciting. There's this. When did that all begin?
Yeah. When did that manifest? Where you're like, you know what, I kind of want to do more.
I think it's been brewing for quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 10 years or so, because, I've been in this business as a performer for more than 24 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And, there comes a point particularly as a woman, I feel that you get sick of reading just the receptionist and the nurse and distressed wife number 4, and you kind of yearn for something a little bit more meaningful that perhaps has a bit more of your voice in it. And I studied creative writing at university back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a bit of fear and self-doubt probably held me back from starting a little bit earlier, thinking, I have a lot of respect for writers. Who am I to think that I can call myself a writer and write a script? Well, turns out, reading 24 years worth of scripts is actually a great starting point.
Right.
Yeah, so I've been kind of dabbling in collaborating with people for the last few years. One sort of big break in that was the Crazy Eights filmmaking competition that we have here in BC.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with that one, having been a Victoria man?
Is that the one? Who does that one?
It's a not-for-profit society, so they're called. It's just called Crazy Eights.
Oh,
and,
okay.
It's been running for, I think it's in its 20th year now.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And basically, it used to be called Crazy Eights because you would get 800 meters of film to make your short film. But now you get 8 days to make your film. So in 2018, myself and Melanie Jones, who's a wonderful writer-director who I collaborated with, we actually won this competition. They choose 6 winners every year out of about 250 teams that apply.
Mm-hmm.
And we won and got to make our short in just 8 days. And we made this comedy called Shuttlecock, which, as you can guess, was about badminton.
Right. Not dick pics.
No, but there was a lot of cock puns.
Right.
Because in our universe, badminton is as popular as NFL.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
And everyone doesn't want to call them shuttlecocks. They just call them cocks. So,
Right.
You have injuries like, oh, man, I took a cock to the eye today. That kind of highbrow, real high art we're talking about here.
Right. Of course.
But, yeah, so basically Melanie wanted to work with me because she knew she wanted to work with me as an actor, and she wanted to go through the process of developing a character with the actor in mind and seeing what that would do to the shooting process in terms of, just they're not really being those questions on the day on set because you've already been on this journey together. And it was just so creatively satisfying being able to be a part of this project right from conception all the way through to now we're enjoying our festival run. And it was so eye-opening for me as an actor as well, just seeing, oh, boy, the amount of work that goes in before you actually get to set.
Right, right. And then also, as an actor, it's like, okay, that's a wrap. Okay, see you guys later. Nope. There's
we still got
post.
work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just such an eye-opener, Turns out badminton is really popular in Vancouver. And one of our biggest challenges was actually finding a court that would let us shoot there.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had almost everyone who was there was so wonderful. They're all volunteering their time. And we had just one performer who had a bit of an attitude issue. And I just felt like saying, you know what? I could replace you in 5 minutes. I have so many friends who are actors who can come down and learn your lines in 5 seconds.
Yes.
You know what I can't replace is this very expensive badminton court that it took us months to secure. So, yeah, definitely humbling as a performer.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well,
Every actor should try making a movie for that exact lesson.
Oh my gosh, no fat shaming and just be humble.
Yes, those are 2 great rules. We'll come up with 10 by the end of this conversation.
All right.
Or maybe 5.
Okay, yes, 5. I feel like that's more attainable. 3, set attainable goals.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
But also not too attainable.
Yeah,
yes. You also need to.
Yeah, number 4. Yeah, reach for the stars.
Our rules are starting to contradict each other. I like that.
number 3,
number
expect
5
the unexpected.
Don't listen to advice from anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
But you are also nominated, which is pretty cool, for a Voice Arts Award.
Very exciting. Seems very fancy.
It sounds very fancy too, and it must be cool, having the career that you've had, and having dipped your toes in different new or very different types of entertainment. Where yes, I will be nominated not only for my voice but for a turtle character.
Yes, exactly. Of all the things I would like to be nominated for, being the pluckiest little turtle that ever yeah, it's an honor. It's really exciting. I heard about the Sovas from a colleague and friend of mine, and submitted because I was really proud of that piece of work, and honestly forgot about it because the submissions were way back when, months and months ago. And then, got an email just a month or two ago with the news and was pretty blown away. And, there's some pretty big names that are going to be there with little old me. And even just, getting to be on the Warner Brothers lot for the event, it's all pretty exciting. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty jazzed about it.
And that's happening real soon, right?
Yeah, it's happening in just a couple of days. I'll be flying down to LA. It's this Sunday.
There we go.
Yeah, it's happening.
That's
just me hanging out with Kit Harington and Tom Hanks. And...
Who are those? I don't know who those people are. I don't know.
Yeah, they're probably going to come up and want me to pose for pictures with them. It'll be really embarrassing.
Yeah, well, so sad, but it'll be okay.
Yeah. I guess I can deal with
it. Whatever, Tom Hanks. Another one.
Yeah, take a number, buddy. Take a number.
And so, if there's one thing I love on the podcast, it's a good horror story. And there's nothing more horrific than a bad audition.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, do you have any?
I mean, yes. I'm trying to think of the worst one. I feel like I also work as a reader. So I've seen people have their bad auditions, which I would never share.
Right.
But
Tom Hanks.
I think one of the most, wink, wink, Kit Harington. But I think one of my most horrifying days ever as a reader in the casting room was actually back in the day in Australia. We were casting for a herpes medication commercial.
Yes.
And, they often do this where none of the American actors want to be associated as the herpes guy.
Right.
So they'll cast an Australian or a Canadian, or they'll kind of shoot abroad so that no one is that herpes guy.
Yeah.
So the commercial's pretty simple, This guy is like happy and living his life. He's, walking along the beach and he's riding horses and bikes and doing all the things that you can do if you manage your herpes correctly.
Correct.
And there was one kind of hero shot at the end of the commercial where this guy's supposed to be on the beach, like in his board shorts, holding his love of his life, looking out into the sunset. And I was basically hugging all these herpes dudes all day. They wanted him to actually, embrace me and like look longingly off into the distance. And they'd been told by their agents in advance to, that they would be asked to strip down to swimwear or underpants because they wanted to see their bodies. But a couple of actors that day had not got that memo.
Ooh.
And so we kind of did, here's setup 1, you're like riding your bike. Here's setup 2, you're in the office. Okay, and now we're going to do the beach shot. So if you don't mind just taking your shirt and your jeans off, and there was probably about 3 of them who were like, I'm not wearing any underwear.
Right. Yep.
And we had to be, okay, cool. You know what? Just shirt off is totally fine. That was, okay. You should let your agent know that they did not get you all the information, and shirt off for now will be fine. So I think I did a sneaky thing there by sharing someone else's worst, but without naming names.
I mean, it still was kind of awkward for you. Just
yeah. Just okay. Next time, like we should add that to our lessons. Always wear underpants.
Oh my gosh.
In the casting room.
I was gonna say, if there were any like it had an American wanted to be known as the herpes person, they absolutely would have been wearing underwear.
No one goes commando in audition rooms.
No, that they only go commando if they do visit abroad and then do the whole backpacking thing, and they come back
How
and
do you know? Are you
yeah,
casting rooms just checking people's underpants?
yeah.
Okay, that's how you jump. No judgment here.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Do you?
Real Americans, I don't know if you know, and if you ever do the American test, it's going to be on there. Real Americans wear like several pairs of underwear.
For protection.
Actually, absolutely. You got to protect yourself from herpes at all times.
Well, like the guy in Arrested Development who always wears jean shorts.
Exactly. Yeah, because he's a never nude.
That's an even better lesson.
Yeah, another lesson, never nude. Be one.
Yeah, be an ever nude.
But for people at home who would like to follow you and keep up with all your projects or your shenanigans, or, you know what, support the shorts and projects you do.
Yes.
Where can they do all that?
They can find me on the Twitter. I am at Rhona R. So it's RHONAR. On the Instagram, the gram. I am at RMER. Fun fact, I have 2 middle names. Do you want to take a guess at what they are?
Radical.
Well, they start with M and an E,
Oh.
So you've failed.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I'm used to failing.
Okay, so it's Rhona Mary and Elizabeth Rees. Those are my names. So RMER on the Insta. And on Facebook, I'm at Rhona Rees Actor is my page that they can stay up to date. And, yeah, it'd be awesome if people want to follow along. My upcoming short film is Freya the Film. That's the one that will feature the dick pics.
Yes, good.
Listeners are keen for that one. And that's on Facebook, Twitter, and Insta as well. Freya the Film.
There we go. Rhona, pleasure chatting with you.
What a pleasure.
Yeah, I hope this was fun for you. And anytime you want to come back and we'll add some more new rules to the rule book.
Yeah, our commandments, as you will.
Yes, the commandments of being a functioning human being in today's society. I know it doesn't roll off the tongue, but I feel like it'll catch you better.
It will. It's going to take off for sure.
Absolutely. But I'll let you go and hang out, chill. I know you said earlier you didn't have time to do your laundry, so I don't know.
I do need to do a little before I go to LA. I need to pack my suitcase.
There we go. See? There we go. There we go.
Have fun. Think of me when you next play with Gridlock.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's going to be this Saturday, so absolutely.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. You have to send me... I've never really, seen her in action. You've got to send me a Twitch or a video or something.
Yeah. I'll send you a clip. Yeah. I'll clip it and send it to you.
Awesome. Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Cheers.